continuing coverage of the World Healthcare Congress here in Washington, D.C. I'm Mabel Zhang. Thanks so much for joining us, and a very warm welcome back to our virtual attendees. Thanks for being there. We now have Jeffery Spight in the studio, who is President, ACO, MSO Operations at Universal American. Jeff, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Mabel.
Now, the big news for you guys is the recent announcement that you have become part of the Wellcare family. Yep. How does that change life at Universal American?
Well, you know, for us, it's a very exciting time for us. In healthcare overall, I think you start to see all the players wanting to get bigger. And this acquisition allows all the great things we've been doing at Universal American, and specifically with the ACO business, it gives us a much bigger platform to build off of. You know, Universal American was a $700 million market cap company. We're now a $7 billion piece of Wellcare. And that gives us so many more opportunities to be able to interact with our physician partners and the stuff that we're doing. It creates some strategic options for us, and it gives us a much larger base to build off of in terms of IT infrastructure, where we can take risk, other markets we can do things in. We're pretty excited about the opportunity. What
were some of the things that brought you guys together?
Well, you know, Wellcare, I think, is a government-sponsored plan. They take care of 4.2 million people in Medicaid and Medicare around the country. So Universal American was a perfect fit. I mean, we are a Medicare Advantage focused with the ACO business on the Medicare population. So it was a nice expansion of their kind of core aims and objectives. So there was a nice fit there culturally. I think the other part was, Wellcare's largely background was in Medicaid managed care. And while they do have an extensive Medicare Advantage business, that had been our core focus and strategic competitive advantage, if you will. We do it extremely well, and they think there's some capabilities and some learnings that we can take from that side of the business and bring it to the rest of their portfolio. So there was that. And then within the ACO business, it's not something they've gotten into to this point. They didn't have an ACO investment or structure before. And so this is a novel way for them to kind of think about how they engage their physicians, develop anchor practices and groups in all their key markets, and be able to use that to excel in the rest of the work that we're trying to do in all those markets.
Being now part of a bigger entity, how closely are you watching things that are going on here in Washington and the decisions that are still yet to be made on the healthcare front?
Yeah, I think all of healthcare is kind of watching, because the world got turned upside down last November, right? And I think we're still sifting through kind of the ups and the downs and the bounces around. I can say this, in the ACO business, we're very excited because ACO's had a bipartisan support before. You know, both the Democrats and the Republicans, for their own reasons and through their own lenses, were supportive of the ACO efforts. You know, that's not changed. I think the part that we're, you know, paying attention to is how fast do they want to maybe do some of the other improvements we had suggested in the past. And so we're a part of that conversation. We're being active in that conversation. We're engaging with the new leadership at CMS and at HHS. We're excited about where, you know, kind of the new energy may want to go and where we can take it, but building off of an incredible amount of work that was done before.
Last year we talked a little bit about engagement and what you're doing on that front, and programs that you thought didn't work as well, but you're moving in a different direction. What's happening on that front now?
Well, we're very excited. So since we last talked, we added another next generation ACO model. So we'll have two of those, that between what we have in Houston originally and then what we're doing here in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. You know, and between the two of them, I think we're taking care of close to 42,000 lives, seniors. So it really gives us a nice footprint in that market. It allows our physicians in those markets to really think about influencing and designing the delivery system in the way they would like it to be shaped. And it gives us a little bit more scale and size. It gives us more opportunity to leverage resources between the two groups. So we're pretty excited about that. And CMS has had another year to think about program improvements and structurally what would we like to change and see added differently. And it just gives us a nicer seat at the table to do that.
Well, let's get back to you're kind of have a opportunity to have a do-over. So what does that look like? What does the ideal model look like? from your standpoint?
Yeah, well, I think we can build off of what was done before, but you know, I think there seems to be a lot of focus in healthcare now about really engaging the beneficiary or the patient. How do you get skin in the game for them as they make some of these decisions? That's a central point to a lot of the stuff that Seema Verma had done in Indiana, was getting the patient involved, both financially and just involved in the decision making that occurs with the way their healthcare gets delivered. You know, the ACO is another perfect place to go test that. And so we're excited about the administration looking into that and seeing where we can kind of push the envelope there.
Terrific. It's so great to see you here at this meeting, Jeff. What keeps you coming back to the World Healthcare Congress?
You know, it's a great group of people. You get lots of great ideas. Getting to connect with people who are drinking the Kool-Aid too and trying to figure out how we can push the needle and make an impact. And then, you know, for me, it's nice being in DC as always, because this is a hub and center of activity.
Okay, great. Jeff, thank you so much. Hope to see you again.
Thank you, Mabel. Appreciate it.
And I'm Mabel Jong. Thanks for watching. Still to come, we have comments from Grady Health and also the Fairview Medical Group. Stay tuned.